Και τώρα περνάμε στην Caroline Strauss, online and on-stage professional EMC, keynote speaker on sales, team building and execution. Ms. Strauss is a former CEO, television personality, a professional MC, a certified speaking professional, and an expert on sales, persuasion, and execution, and has worked with associations and executive teams across all industries. Welcome, Ms. Strauss. We are very honored to have you here today, and the digital stage is yours.
Well, yeses. Good afternoon. Yeses. Good afternoon. I am Carolyn Strauss, and I am coming to you live from Denver, Colorado. And I can't tell you all how much I would rather be there with you. This program, so I know that you have spent the entire day. You have spent most of your day. By the way, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, my time. You have spent all day learning about sales and from different sales experts. What we're going to do for the next, 30, 35 minutes is just talk really about how to create connection and collaboration, because I truly believe that everything in the world has changed over the past 2 years. And what we can do most is be a resource and be a connection and a collaboration and do commerce and do business with the people in our world. Yes, I have been to Greece. I am, like I said, I wish I were there with you in person. There's actually no place in the world I like more. I spent 18 years on the Home Shopping Network, and I believe that you all have a television shopping network in Greece. So I spent 18 years. My clothing company is called the Carolyn Strauss Collection. And I went on TV at least once a month, and I sold clothing to women who didn't know that they needed it and didn't know that they wanted it. And I got them to buy up to $1 million of $39, $49 product in one day. So given that, if I can sell people something that they didn't know that they need and didn't know that they want, and I wasn't even in the room with them, I'm going to share with you some of the secrets that I learned over those years of how to connect, whether you're in the room or working remote. So how does the Home Shopping Network sell everything? And by the way, they do billions of dollars a year selling on television. So how do they do that? Well, I want to share a couple of resources during this program with you. The first one, do you all know this book, Influence? The Psychology of Influence? It's by Robert Cialdini. And I personally believe that this book talks about the psychology of your buyer and how to get them in the mindset of doing business with you. So let me go through just a couple of the points in the book. First point is reciprocity. You all, and I'm going to go through these fast because I know that you're all sales experts and you all know what you're doing. But if you haven't gotten this book, and I believe it's available in Greek, I wanted to introduce it to you. So reciprocity means that as human beings, we feel that when somebody does something for us, we want to do something back for them. It's sort of the reason behind when you go into a store and they're offering you a free sample of something, there's a part of you that feels obligated to buy that product. Reciprocity. Next is scarcity. Now, scarcity is an interesting one. On the Home Shopping Network, they do it beautifully. Because what we did on HSN, and by the way, I was on for 18 years from 1997 to 2015 when I stopped running my clothing company. So what they would say is, you want to order now because there are only 300 of this scarf left in yellow, right? But it was actually true. What's most scarce about you is your time and your resources. So how you can use scarcity when you're selling to somebody, if it's a product, if it's a service, if it's a hotel, if it's retail, you can say, look, these are the last few hotel rooms that we have left for this week. Or if it's a product, you can say, you know what? We are only going to do the yellow for your organization. And you can use scarcity to get people to want to do business with you. Next is authority. Are you the authority on what your industry does? When people meet someone of authority, someone who they believe may know a little bit more than they do about a certain product or a certain item or a certain industry, that gives people the will and the desire to do business with you. So authority. Next is commitment and consistency. This one's really interesting, especially, given the world that we're living in. One of the things that I've done in presentations that I've done over the years is you can actually ask somebody, are you committed to having X work in your business? Are you committed to having, let's say it's a hotel, are you committed to having your company stay in a hotel that makes them feel special? If you can ask a question that gets your buyer to say, yes, I am committed to X, then when you ask for the sale, they can't go against something that they've already committed to. This is one of my favorites. And then finally, there's liking. That means you've all heard this, right? People do business with people who are like them and who they know and trust. And liking is, are you likable? And I know that that sounds fluffy, but it's actually important, because businesses don't do business with businesses. People do business with people. So you want to be someone who people want to do business with. Okay, so let's just go through how HSN sells everything, and then we'll get into how you can create connection and community with what you do. Okay, first, we went into people's homes on their devices. Now, I know a lot of you watching may be working from home or remotely from a remote place. How you're entering people's homes, if you're working remote, is how I'm doing it right now with you, is you're doing it through a screen. So how do you create connection through a screen? It's actually, making eye contact, smiling, and knowing what it is that your buyer might want and need from you. And then in person, it's really being present and paying attention. Next is know what your product can do. Now, I know this sounds elementary, but it's actually not, because I want you to think outside of the norm, right, of what your product can do. Think about what it does to their reputation, what it does for their business. Now, I made clothing, right? So it was pull-on polyester clothing, you guys, but when we talked about what we did, we made easy wear, easy care clothing. Who did we do it for? For busy women. Why? So that after they got dressed, they didn't have to think about themselves for the rest of the day. That's what we did. So my thought is, what do you do? Here are the questions. What do you do? Who do you do it for? And why do they care? If you're in retail, why does your store, your retail environment, serve your customers, and which ones specifically, and why do they care about that? If you can answer those 3 questions, you've got that down. Next, answer any questions that might be in the mind of your buyer, especially if you're not in person. If you're in person, one of my favorite questions is, so is there anything else that's circling in your mind that you may need to know from me? If you're not in person, if you're selling remote, you may ask your friends, ask your community, ask your favorite clients, what questions come up when you think about our product? And then you can answer them while you're having the conversation. And then, of course, the key to the sales, ask for the sale, right? There is there is an inductive kick that happens when you go from a lovely, fluffy conversation, a lovely, comfortable conversation, to actually going to contract, to actually going into the business of selling. And that for a lot of people is where the discomfort comes. If you think about what you do as I am an offer of help, and if I don't offer this to this customer, to this client, then they're losing out, then you win. So it's easy to ask for the sale at that point. So let's talk about how to make money with sales. Okay. You are an offer of help to your clients. Like I just said, you are not selling to them, you're actually helping them. And I use this graphic because a lot of us have felt like we've been behind a wall for the past year. We felt like we're stuck. And one of the opportunities that you have as a sales professional, and think about this also, you may be the only person in your organization that your customer or client sees. So if you can be an offer of help to them, you're actually going to help them get over the wall to get to the next place that they're working to go to. So how are you an offer of help to your clients? Let's talk about it. First of all, clearly articulate how you help your clients. How does doing business with you help them? Can you answer that? So answer that question for yourself right now. How do I help my clients? And by the way, and this is going to sound harsh, if what you do isn't an offer of help, work with your company to figure out how you are. Okay. Next, what is your uniqueness in the market? I mean, why would I come to your retail store, to your hotel, to your company? Why would I go there instead of going to someone else? Because like I talked about in the description of this program, we can pretty much buy everything online now. So why is it that people come to you and ask for your help with what they're looking for? Okay. So you want to define how you help them, what is unique about you, and then why do they come to you? And one of the best ways to find that out is ask them. Have you asked your favorite clients and customers, why is it that you do business with us? Ask them that. Here's the thing, people want to help you too. Remember I talked about being an offer of help? They want to help you. So you can call your favorite clients. And here's something that I want to recommend. Spend more time with your current clients than you do with your future clients, because we all know that it costs 10 times more to get a new client than to keep a current existing client. And how do you do that? Reach out to your current clients and ask them these questions. How do we help you? And what can we do to be of service to you more? Okay. So now that you know who you are and how you're an offer of help, what's happened in the past couple of years is we have forgotten or lost connection to a lot of people. There are a lot of people in our network that we've maybe forgotten about and that maybe have forgotten about us. So I want to invite you to use your existing resources to go back to your network. I want you to think about, what do we have? What database am I using? And what do we have that's new? How have we upgraded our products? How have we changed how we do business? How have we added maybe a blog or a YouTube channel that will actually assist your customers in helping them? Remember, you're there to help your customers have a better life, have a better world, do something that really serves them. So how do you go back to your network and re-engage with people who you may you may have lost a little bit along the way. Ask yourself, is your database up to date and relevant? One of the things that I did is I went back to my whole database and I sent everybody a note and said, I'm checking in. We're coming, hopefully to the end of this pandemic, to this weirdness. And I want to touch base. Are you still with your company? If you're not, is there somebody that I can help and serve where you are now? And then clean out your database, but be an offer of help when you reach out to them. So look up, is your database relevant? And then figure out what's best for you and your team to reach out and engage. Here's the thing nowadays, there are so many options. My goodness, there's email and Messenger and Facebook and LinkedIn, which is where my customers and prospects are. So if you're on LinkedIn, please feel free to connect with me. And there's TikTok and there's newsletters. And oh my goodness, I forgot to put there the YouTube channel. And I know in Greece that this is true as well. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. And I'm sure you heard that already today. So what are you doing on YouTube? And are you connecting video? Because people want to do business that they know and like, and they feel like they know you on video. I'm hoping that you all feel like you know me a little bit coming to you here on video from my home studio. But what I'm hoping is that you're going to pick a method of communication that is congruent with who you are and what you provide. I do a lot of work in the promotional products industry. And those are, pieces that have your name and your label on them, your customer's name and label on them. And I absolutely recommend that each of my customers there create new products and then show them on YouTube or Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live, all of these options. So choosing how to engage with your updated database, super important. And then you may want to send people something. Now, I know that when I send my clients a thank you, even if it's just a beautiful card that has their logo on it, and you can print those in your office, send people something that's relevant to them. Find a promotional product company and create samples. And by the way, if you don't know one, I can connect you because I play in that world. Send them a sample of something that's relevant to them that will have their logo on it. So for example, let's say that you do business, you sell to the cybersecurity industry. You may want to send them a thumb drive with their logo on it. Those cost you so little and they will remember you forever. And notice what I just said. Send them something with their logo on it, not yours. Okay? Now, how do you create, one of the other ways to connect and be an offer of help is curate content, right? There's so much information out there. I mean, look, there's really not that much that's new on the planet. It's just as a sales offer of help that you are, you can actually curate content for your industry and your clients that will serve them and do them good. So how do you do that? This is an easy one. Go out, research, and find videos and articles that are relevant to them that will help them do more business. That is your job, is to help your customers do more business. If it's a hotel, to feel better when they wake up in the morning. If it's a retail store, to have an experience in your store that they want to tell their friends about. Okay. So find articles and videos that are relevant that you can share on your social media or in your newsletter, or just a conversation of when they come into your business. Follow your biggest customers. Follow them on social media. Follow them and respond to what they're interested in. And then third, if it's possible, and if you have a vibrant website, you want to create a resource page where they can come to you, and you become a resource, and you become a source of help to them, even beyond what you're selling them. Okay? Now, how do you create connection? I want to invite you to go back to at least 2018. When you reach out to everybody in your database or everybody who's done business with you, reach out to your connections back to 2018 and ask how they're doing. Find out what's happening with them and ask how they're doing. This one, ask, check in, ask what's new with them, and ask them how things have changed. Now, I still want you to do business with new people. Absolutely. New people, again, may take a little bit more energy, but when you reach out to them, you can always also say, how has the past 2 years changed how you do business? More important, how you want to do business with us. Ask your customers, your clients, your prospects, how they want to do business with you. Again, I know this might sound, I know you, I listened to a little bit of this speaker before me. He was wonderful, and it was very hardcore information. I just want you to know that sales is all about relationship and connection. So everything that I'm talking to you about is the relationship part of sales, because I think that is what's going to differentiate you going forward into the next year, 2 years, 5 years. And by the way, I was listening to an expert in future planning recently, and he said you can plan for a year and you can intend for 3 to 5 years. So when you're looking at what your sales plan is for the next year, what are you planning for the next year using all of this? And then share something new with them as well. Okay. So you want to share something new that's happened with your company. If you're a hotel, I'm sure you've renovated over the past several years. If you're a retail store, I'm sure that you found some new vendors to do business with. If you are a food service industry, I'm sure that you found a way to be more sustainable. Okay, so here's something I want to suggest. This is some marketing and sales tips that I want to recommend that maybe you implement in your business. First, are you using testimonials? One of the best ways to get people to do business with you is make it safe. This is going to sound, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The safer you can make a female prospect feel, the better it will be to do business with her. And that is totally politically incorrect, and I apologize, but there is an instinctual need for safety for everyone, but particularly for your female buyers. So record testimonials. When somebody comes into your store, even if it's a retail store, you could have somebody with their phone and say, hey, what do you like about shopping here? And then you can put that on your website. Next, have you ever used a video tool to record a personalized greeting or a thank you to your team members, or to your highlight your team members in video? Just, hey, this is Joe, and I work in the warehouse for our company, and I want to thank you for doing business with us. We appreciate your business. When people feel appreciated, they love doing business with you. People will come back after a big thank you. And feel free to use, if your product is complicated, or even if it isn't, demonstrate your product being used by your customers, right? Demonstrate people shopping in your store. Get a video. If it's a hotel, get a video of people leaving and talking about how great your service was, or your concierge was, or the front desk check-in was. Not just a survey, but actually a video talking about how great they enjoyed working with you. Now, if you are getting pushback, if at any time you are getting pushback on what you're selling, I wanted to share this book. This book is called Exactly What to Say. It is by a friend of mine, Phil M. Jones, who's amazing. And I reached out to Phil and I asked him, and his book is available to you in Greek. So feel free to, take a screenshot of this slide, or reach out to me and I'm happy to send you this. I believe that the slide deck for this will be available. So this is really, this is a book that will get rid of any objections. So if you're selling and you're finding you're getting objections, this book has 20 ways of eliminating objections. That's why I wanted to share with you. And the fact that Phil had it translated into Greek makes me really happy. Okay, so now how do you get support? How do you, as a sales professional, get support? I want to recommend a couple of things that have helped me over many, many years in business, but also I think it's important for us as human beings, and also as we come out of this past 2 years of weirdness, how do we get help? Do you all have a mastermind group? Have you ever had a mastermind group where you sit with people who are not competing in not competing industries, but you be with them and you spend an hour every 2 weeks or every month, and you get together and talk about your challenges? Because the theory of this came behind from a book. Have you all heard of the book Think and Grow Rich? Have you heard of that book? It's by Napoleon Hill. It was printed in like the 1930s or 1940s. And it was when all of the leaders back in the 30s or 40s got together, and they would meet once a month and talk about their business challenges. I highly recommend that you find a mastermind group, a group of peers who can support you. Next, find people. Another option, find people who serve the same buyers as you. Let's say that you're in the promotional product business. Maybe they work with a trucking company, and you can actually partner with them so you recommend each other and create joint ventures. This is how business is being done now. I truly believe that business is being done by creating relationships and collaborations with our customers and with other industries and other people who are doing business with our same buyers, with our same customers, to be of service to them. I want to give you one little bonus point before we go to questions and answers. Do you send thank you notes? And I know that this, again, may sound not very businessy. Are you kidding? Businesses don't do business with businesses. People do business with people. So this is a thank you note that I got from an organization that I spoke for. Look what they did, right? They took pictures of me while I was presenting and then put my picture on the card. People will not throw away something that has their picture or their logo on it. So feel free. You can create this on your printer back at the office. Maybe hire an intern to do this kind of work for you and send these cards out. Just so you know, what this card, which maybe cost them a couple of dollars to do, not only do I still have it 3 years later, but anytime this organization calls and says, Carolyn, can you find space on your calendar to do business with us, to come speak to us? My answer is Absolutely. So this kind of a piece will endear you to them forever. Now, I created a one-page top 10 sales tips list for you. If you like, and it's my gift to you, go to wickedsmartpeople.com. That's one of my websites, because I do communication skills training for wicked smart people who need to present their ideas. wickedsmartpeople.com/top 10 tips. That's it. wickedsmartpeople.com/top 10 tips. And that is right there for you. I would love, it's also an easy way for us to be connected. I would love to be of service to you at any time. I believe it's Evharisto. Evharisto, thank you so much. This is a picture from me. I was actually in Greece in 2019. Again, I wish I were there with you today, but I was there in Greece 3 years ago, right before the pandemic, had the most amazing time. And now I live in Colorado. This is a picture of Breckenridge, Colorado. If you haven't had a chance to spend time in Breck or come out to Colorado, if you do come, please reach out. I'll tell you the best places to go. And if you're in Denver, we can go get a cup of coffee. Thank you so much. I am here for questions. George, I'm here for you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Strauss. Ευχαριστούμε for all the insights that you shared with us. And there are, in fact, some questions for you, if you have some minutes to spare and answer them.
Of course. It's 7 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Where else am I going to be?
You mentioned the book Think and Grow Rich, and there is a question about that. Could you tell us more about mastermind groups?
Absolutely. So a mastermind group is a group of like-minded individuals who all want what's best for each other. By the way, I have two right now. I have a speaking mastermind group and a business mastermind group. So each one I meet with once a month. We are completely transparent. We all talk about our businesses. We talk about our challenges. We meet for an hour and a half once a month. By the way, the perfect amount of people for a mastermind group is I say between 5 and 8, because there's almost always somebody who can't make it. And then each of you go through and you can spend 10 to 15 minutes each really focusing on your business. The way I like to do it is you focus on each person, what your biggest challenge is for 5 minutes. And then you stop talking, which for me is clearly a challenge, and you listen to feedback from everybody else in the group, because everybody in the group has gone through something that you've gone through. I highly recommend every human being, no matter what they do, have a mastermind group of like-minded professionals who can support each other.
I see, and thank you very much. It's very interesting idea, the idea of mastermind groups. And we also have another question, a bit more technical, let me say. Is there a free way to record video emails?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, if you use Gmail, is Gmail very used in Greece? Fabulous.
Yes, sure.
There is an add-on to Gmail called Cloud HQ. CLOUD HQ. Look it up. It is a free add-on to Gmail. And what happens is you get a little, when I'm in my Gmail, I get a little camera icon at the bottom of when I'm, doing an email, and I click on the camera icon, the camera comes up, I say what I want to say. Usually I'm in my office in the other room, say what I want to say. And then I can type in whatever I want in the subject matter. What I usually type is a 30-second email, a 30-second video for you. Tell people how long it is, because if it's a long video, people tend not to want to watch it. So if you tell somebody that, it'll tell you how long the video is. If you tell somebody this is a 45-second video that I created right for you, everybody will watch it. And you can say so much more in a video than you can in an email. So if you're in Gmail Cloud HQ, there is another one. The name is Unfortunate. It's called Bomb Bomb. Very unfortunate name. BOMB, BOMB. That one is a paid way to do a video email. I used them for a while. I happen to love Cloud HQ, but Bomb Bomb is one that you can also use. Video emails are getting opened, they're saying now, between 15 and 20% of the time. So your emails may not be getting open. George, have you heard that same thing?
Yes, I've heard that, in fact, the statistics.
Yes. Now, video emails, I know for a fact, get open more than 50% of the time. So tell someone that you created a video for them, and they will be so excited to see you. And then they get to meet you, and then they get to know you, and then they get to like you, and then they get to the authority piece, and they get to know all of the things that you know and that you can do for them.
Perfect. Very, very informative. And the next and last question is also in the same topic. When you say send your clients something, do you have any ideas or suggestions on what should we share with our clients?
I do. So if you've written a book, you can send them a book. I love that idea of the note with their picture on it. You can go to anybody's website, any customer, any of your clients or customers' website, grab their picture from the About Us page, grab the logo from that, and put it on a card if you want. If you, I am a huge fan of the promotional product industry, right? So, and more than anything, I'm a fan of food. I'm a fan of cookies. I'm a fan of chocolate. You can actually find companies that do custom labeled chocolates. And I've actually sent chocolate bars to customers with their logo on it. They cost me what, $20 or $30 maybe, and in euros, probably 20 or 30 euros. And I always get a return on that investment. People love wine. That picture that I showed at the beginning was from a wine store that I visited when I was in Greece. And that, I mean, if you can, or drop off, if you're local and your customers are local, it's happy hour now in Greece, so I'm talking about wine, right? If you can, drop off a bottle of your favorite alcohol or theirs to share with your customers. Seriously, it used to be that doing that stuff, like back in the 70s and 80s, if you watch Mad Men back on Netflix, that was the way business was done. And over the past 20 years, that's really stopped, and we've gone all electronic, right? Very little face-to-face, especially in the past 2 years, but we've gone all electronic. Something tangible, something physical. Oh, and if you know that your customer loves dog toys, if you know that they have a dog or a cat, send them something for their pet. People love their pets. So if your customers, if you get to know them, right? And you know that they have a dog or a cat, send them something for their animal. And if you're a hotel and you allow pets, oh my goodness, even if your guests don't have a pet with them, but you give them a little dog toy, or you give them, like a lot of hotels allow pets, give them a dog toy for when they get home to their pet. They're going to remember that forever. People remember tangible. Remember, we're human beings and we have all of our senses. So when you give somebody something that they can hold and touch, or mail somebody something that they can hold or touch, you're golden.
Perfect. So many ideas, and so much. You offer us so much value, and thank you very much, Ms. Strauss, for sharing all your useful insights with us.
It was my joy to be with you. Please feel free to get in touch on LinkedIn or go to wickedsmartpeople.com/top10tips, and let's connect there.
Thank you very much. It was an honor to have you here today.
Right back at you.